um, in our curriculum. Okay. What we do is we want the teachers to teach science and mathematics based on the syllabus, but we want them to emphasize on SDG. So what we do is we study the whole curriculum, the whole syllabus, and we pick up syllabus that they can put into ESD in the curriculum. So these are the topic, for example, and the teacher will give them suggestion what they can do to learn this topic, but at the same time also learn about SDG. Okay. So I'm not sure how you can do this in your class. I think your lecturer can help you with this. You can in your teaching you can put into ESD in the topics that you chose to do in your class. Okay. So basically, this is what we've done, and this is in the policy in Johor. We only do this in Johor for now. So we hope that one day other states will also follow, so that we can spread ESD or SDG to more students, more teachers. And the one that we really want to do at the end is to ensure that we get to the parents. So if you look at our framework, okay. Okay. If you look at this framework, we want to, at the end of the day, the parents will get it, the public. So what we do is we create the environment in school from learning STEM, learning science. They know about ESD, they get awareness, they get the knowledge, the skills, the behavior and the values, and then they spread it to their family. Kita harap nanti selepas mereka belajar pendidikan STEM, kerana kita masukkan ESD dalam pendidikan STEM, harapannya nanti selepas mereka sudah belajar, mereka bawa kepada keluarga mereka, pada ibu bapa, adik-beradik. One day, this society will become more sustainable, insyaAllah. So we hope that at the end of the day, akhirnya kita dapat membangun, tapi membangun dengan lestari. Kita mencapai pembangunan lestari for at least Johor, Malaysia. So I hope Indonesia one day can also. Your president is very good, Pak Jokowi very very good. A lot of development happen. Okay, banyak pembangunan berlaku di Indonesia, good science. But we hope that pembangunan di Indonesia is sustainable. So it's your roles sebagai cikgu untuk memastikan mendidik anak-anak, mendidikkan kawan-kawan, ibu bapa, keluarga supaya memahami ESD ini in the future. Apa yang berlaku in your development in this country will make sure it's sustainable, akan lestari, insyaAllah. Kita harap begitu. Dari saya, kalau ada soalan ke, I give back to the moderator.
Thank you very much, Bro, for the very fruitful and interactive lecture. So now we are going to have Q&A session. So please, anyone who to ask question to Prof Fatin, please raise your hand. Jadi boleh pakai bahasa Indonesia, silakan dibantu untuk mengedarkan mikrofonnya. Yang mau bertanya kepada Prof Fatin, silakan angkat tangan.
Perkenalkan, nama saya Indah dari Okrin A, angkatan 2020. Izin bertanya, saya pakai bahasa Indonesia ya Bu. Izin bertanya, jadi bagaimana cara kita sebagai seorang guru supaya pelajaran tentang SDG tadi yang sudah kita ajarkan itu benar-benar dipraktekkan dalam kehidupan sehari-hari, karena biasanya murid itu cuma mempraktekkan waktu di depan guru, kemudian di belakangnya itu sudah dilupakan seperti itu. Ya.
You are not sure what the student do behind you. Okay, kita tak boleh control. We cannot control what the student can do behind us. Okay, you mengajar macam mana pun, contoh simple. You mengajar murid pelajar solat, balik rumah dia solat ke? You cannot control, right? Okay, the best you can do is you create the environment in schools. Okay, you get them to do it slowly. Bila sudah buat, okay, mereka akan ingat. Mungkin mereka tidak buat di rumah, tetapi bila praktis di sekolah, lama-lama akan buat di rumah. You pernah tak di sekolah jumpa orang salam, betul? Jumpa mana Assalamualaikum, betul? Itu di sekolah kan? Balik rumah buat tak? Okay, but at least you create the environment, you do it here in schools. Okay, hopefully nanti sudah besar dia fikir, okay, saya pernah buat dan saya boleh buat sebenarnya. Dan bila dia sudah betul-betul aware, dia sudah sedar dia akan buat. So give them the knowledge, give them the skills from school is good. Okay, either the practice at home or not, really is not out. We cannot control. But what we can do is we give them the skills and the knowledge. Hopefully one day they will do it. Okay, that's number one. Number two, if you really want them to do it at home, you have to educate the parents. Okay, your solution is parents. So that's why you have to be active with the community. Bersama masyarakat, you have to give the awareness of SDG to the community, so that parents will understand why their children do it at home or in schools. Okay, that will help them to do it. To do it is to ask them to report. If you want them to report, write a short report, 1 page of report what they have done in school, at home, snap pictures, videos, send it to you or post it on their media social, so that you can trace if they actually do it. If you want to control them, if not, there's no need to do that.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Rizal Hanafi, saya dari Pendidikan IPA tahun 2021. Saya izin bertanya. Yang pertama, mohon izin Ibu, siapakah saintis atau ilmuwan yang menemukan atau menyadari bahwa karbon yang dihasilkan oleh kehidupan di dunia itu membahayakan atmosfer ataupun bumi? Kemudian yang kedua, saya menangkap dari apa yang disampaikan oleh Ibu, penyebab karbon terbesar itu salah satunya dari pabrik, ya, asap pabrik, asap industri. Kemudian bagaimana bisa dulu pendirian pabrik itu dilakukan tanpa memperhatikan dampak atau akibat yang akan ditimbulkan, salah satunya mengenai karbon yang dapat membahayakan kehidupan di bumi. Terima kasih.
Adalah sekumpulan saintis yang menunjukkan satu data. Saya tak ada data kat sini. Data itu menunjukkan bahawa karbon punya peningkatan, suhu punya peningkatan dengan karbon punya graf peningkatan adalah selari. Okay. Dulu zaman, I'm not sure if I just slide tu tak. Bermula tahun 19 something in the kurun ke 19th century. Okay. Carbon temperature naik secara mendadak. Before that tak ada. And then carbon punya concentration pun naik sama-sama pada masa yang sama. Okay, so that was the findings yang menunjukkan bahawa ada kaitan di antaranya. Tapi siapa yang buat saya tak tahu. I cannot answer that question. Mungkin siapa boleh Google, saya cari jawapan sekarang. Siapakah yang memberikan jawapan bahawa karbon itu meningkat dan menyebabkan suhu dunia meningkat? Thank you for the question. Saya pun nak cari jawapan nanti. Second question, banyak hasilkan karbon, betul. Tapi kalau kita just salahkan factory, nanti kita tak payah hidup lah. Okay, we can tell the factory now it's not our. We can push the government. We can push the government to tell the factory, because factory will not listen to us. Factory will listen to government. To tell the factory to reduce their carbon. That is number one. Carbon stock.
Okay, silakan.
STEM education yang diterapkan di SMP. Nah kan ini kan kita sekarang selaku Jawa dulu di SMP itu untuk menerapkan STEM dalam sekolah itu kan perlu banyak tantangan. Misalnya itu sepemantauan saya di kampung saya itu penerapan STEM itu education STEM ini di SMP itu masih belum diterapkan. Menurut Prof itu gimana sih tindakan atau langkah-langkah kita sebagai calon guru itu supaya menerapkan STEM ini yang dimana kebiasaan mereka belum memahami tentang STEM education itu, supaya STEM education itu berjalan di sekolah itu, bagaimana tindakan kita untuk bisa membangun komunitas di sekolah itu biar memahami STEM education diterapkan di sekolah. Seperti itu.
Di Malang, di UN fakulti, you all diajar untuk teacher centered learning ke student centered learning? Betul? Your experience in school, pengalaman you di sekolah, you sebagai pelajar sekolah, you dapat cikgu tu mengajar teacher centered ke you student centered? Teacher centered kan? Tak kan? You nak bawa perubahan tu tak? You all want to make changes, you want to make improvement, you want to make your school system better, betul? Yes, pendidikan STEM di sekolah sekarang ini cikgu-cikgu tak tahu, tapi you sudah tahu, betul? So it's up to you to make the changes. You bawa. It's not going to be easy, okay? It's not going to be easy because it's something new. But if no one start, no one going to go anywhere. Okay, you will stuck in this forever. So kalau sekarang ini kita tahu teacher centered learning is not very good, right? Kita tahu kita diajar untuk guna student centered learning, betul? Tapi if you kata, oh sebab cikgu sekolah pakai teacher centered, saya tak boleh lah pakai student centered learning, nanti cikgu tak boleh follow. Cikgu kata tak bagus, betul? So no one going to start from anywhere. Okay, same idea. Pendidikan STEM, yes, it's new, betul, agak new, but you sudah belajar di university. Okay, sekolah cikgu tak pakai, betul, tak ramai cikgu pakai, betul. But if you don't bring anything to the school, no one going to know anywhere, betul. So you have to bring it. That's number one. Second, bila you sudah start pakai di sekolah, you will improve, you make it better. Nanti akan ada orang follow. If no other teachers follow, that's fine. Your students will remember. Your students will become teacher, inshallah, some of them. They will learn to use the pendekatan STEM in school in the future, inshallah. So if you don't start somewhere, they're not going to start anywhere. So my advice is, cuba. Okay? Just cuba. It's not going to be easy. I can tell it's not easy. Okay? Because other students will compare. Cikgu ini cakap-cakap dalam kelas sudah selesai. Saya dalam kelas STEM kena buat projek-projek ini. Betul? Bisinglah. Okay. But if you can tell them what they have done, it's going to make them remember better about the science compared to cikgu cakap-cakap. They will follow you. Okay? Convince them. That's what we did in the problem-based learning. I didn't have the time to tell you the story, but we have the time when we do the problem-based learning. It's difficult, a lot of work for the students and teacher, but at the end, they remember better the science concept they learn, so they actually like the problem-based learning. So same to STEM education. Okay?
Saya izin bertanya dengan menggunakan bahasa Indonesia ya Bu. Kita ketahui bahwa sebagai seorang guru, pendidikan yang kita berikan kepada siswa itu sangat penting untuk menunjang SDGs yang ada. Nah, bagaimana kita mengetahui indikator berhasilnya kita mengajar suatu siswa agar bisa SDGs yang kita ajarkan itu bisa diterapkan dalam kehidupan sehari-hari?
How you know is achieved or not achieved? It's a collective effort. Okay, semua buat. So kalau kita kata, you can do simple assessment. You can do simple assessment. Selepas you dah ajar, you tengok behavior ada berlaku perubahan tak? You can give a simple survey. Buat survey tentang dia punya amalan di rumah. Ada tak saya buat ini. You can check the student. That's number one you can do. Second what you can do is, you can look at the society as a whole. Not now, okay? Maybe 1 or 2 years or even 5-10 years from now.
Masih ada lagi yang mau bertanya? Sudah ya. Nanti kalau ingin mendapatkan jawaban atau tidak lanjut, misalkan masih ada pertanyaan, boleh kontak Prof. Fatin. And thank you so much Prof. Fatin for the for the knowledge you share with us about STEM education for sustainable development. We believe that it will be very beneficial for all us, especially our beloved future science teacher in here. So, and thank you for you all. You are very great future teacher, inshallah. And I leave the event back to the Master of Ceremony. Thank you.